back to the daily grind. Thanks for checking out the channel. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time
MMA.
Let's get to these questions for the 2,000 subscriber full-time family Q&A. I know we're not quite at 2,000 yet. We're at like 1990, 1993, somewhere around there. But either way, it doesn't matter. That's close enough to 2,000 for me. We can round up, bitches. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to answer the questions now because I got a big day tomorrow. A lot of stuff to get done. So we're starting with Sam Crow. 17 minutes ago, he said this guy commented like 10 times. Well, fuck out here, John. Oh, I guess I should start at the other side, right? Because that's the newest. Alright, yep. And then we'd know what you're talking about, huh? Alright, so let's scroll down to the oldest comments. Show more. Holy shit, I see what you're talking about 10 times. Alright. Prototype Jack said, do you think Robbie Lawler should go into the Hall of Fame? Let's see, he won the title. How many times did Robbie Lawler defend his title? I mean, I don't even know how the Hall of Fame works really now. Like, is it just a UFC Hall of Fame? And if it is, does it count like only like Strikeforce and WEC? Does it count like, you know, I don't even know if it's just an MMA Hall of Fame or just a UFC Hall of Fame. But either way, I mean, if it were a UFC Hall of Fame to me, I mean, yeah, Robbie Lawler, you got to. I mean, I might be a little more lenient on some of these guys in the actual Hall of Fame. I don't know how fucking, you know, strict they are with their Hall of Fame credentials. I know Uriah Faber's already in there and he just retired. So I would assume Robbie Lawler, yeah, especially if he fights for the title maybe one more time, if he reclaimed it for sure. But I don't know. I'll just go ahead and say yeah. Prototype Jack said, biggest UFC fight that never happened. George St. Pierre versus Anderson Silva. There you go, babe. George St. Pierre versus Anderson Silva, in my opinion, that's the one. And I'm talking about even in their prime. Them motherfuckers could have got the shit done even now. Anderson Silva was on a little bit of a losing streak. GSP was a little retired, but it's kind of like Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather. Shit, people still watch it. I'd still watch it, even though I would have rather seen it 4 years ago. But either way. Excuse me. Prototype Jack said thoughts on Johnny Hendricks going to Jackson's as well as using the UFC PI to cut weight. Do you think he can be a champion again? Well, if he's using the UFC's Performance Institute to cut weight, then maybe he can go back to 170, right? Because it's not even about the weight, because he missed weight at 185, he missed weight at 170, but whenever he was cutting to 170, he cut under 185, so it's not like he couldn't make the weight. It seeming like a discipline issue. So my mind, if he's using the Performance Institute to cut weight, maybe he should go to 170, because we see with guys like Cowboy Cerrone, you know, they think they look better at a weight class above, and you know, people are telling them, yeah, you know, you should cut less weight. But then I don't know how really well that works. I mean, even Kelvin Gastelum, I mean, you can point to him as well. Like, he used to be a welterweight, now they've got him fighting at middleweight, and everyone's like, oh yeah, but look how good he's looking at middleweight. But then you see him versus Chris Weidman, and it's like, maybe he should go back down. So I don't think he'll be a champion at middleweight for sure. Maybe if he can get back to 170 and at Jackson's, maybe he can definitely get up there, you know, because he can probably win 1 or 2 fights and get the shot. So do I think he can be champion again? It's possible at 170. Do I think he will be? Probably not. He's fighting, who's he fighting coming up? He's fighting Paulo Barachinha, undefeated at UFC 217, Madison Square Garden. So if he wins that fight, that'll be dope. And if he loses that fight, who knows what's going to happen with old Johnny Hendricks. Big rig. Free John Jones, DC added steroids, said, fuck TJ Dillasnake, that's quick hits, boy. Come on, you know you got to pick Cody. Fuck quick hits. I don't really give a fuck who his boys are, honestly. And I honestly didn't know TJ Dillashaw was his boy. I didn't even know. I only knew him since like 18K, and he left at like 20, so I didn't know all of his favorite fighters like that. So I didn't know TJ Dillashaw was his boy, but that does kind of piss me off. No, I'm just fucking around. But no, TJ Dillashaw's my boy too, man. TJ Dillashaw's cool. I like Cody Garbrandt though too. It's not that I don't like Cody Garbrandt. I just like the fact that I just feel like TJ Dillashaw's been getting skipped, you know, #1 contender fights or whatever, and he might be a little more well-rounded. But the way Cody Garbrandt beat Dominic Cruz, I mean, if he comes out and does the same thing to TJ Dillashaw, I don't think there's anything left to say about Cody Garbrandt. Any more doubt in Cody. So, Free John Jones, DC added steroids, also said, would the UFC be better without USADA? Entertainment-wise, yes. But the thing about USADA, I think really the whole reason they're there is to protect the UFC against lawsuits, former lawsuits, maybe CTE lawsuits and shit. Because, yeah, I mean, it doesn't really make much sense to me, USADA being there. We've lost so much to USADA. Like, you know, the UFC's trying to make all this money back, and all these big fights and these pay-per-views aren't selling. But imagine the UFC's numbers if they still had Jon Jones and Brock Lesnar and Junior Dos Santos got to stay on the pay-per-views, and all of these guys, and even Chael Sonnen would still be in the UFC, and all of these guys that maybe could fight a little longer on TRT, the stars would be around longer. I mean, I believe without USADA, or maybe if they just allowed maybe TRT or something, as strict as USADA is, I feel like it takes away from the entertainment and even the pay-per-view sales and all of that shit. So I question why they're even there. It's not just because the UFC wants to see who's, you know, I don't think, in my opinion, it's because the UFC wants everybody to be clean. You know, guys are always looking for an advantage, and, you know, that general thought. But at the same time, I mean, like Mark Hunt said, you know, if the UFC wanted everyone to, I don't know, you get the point, man. I don't think that USADA's there just because the UFC wants these guys, you know, Junior Dos Santos and the Brock Lesnar, Jon Jones is busted, because to me it hurts business. So I've said enough on that. Free Jon Jones, Darren Till knocked out a washed up cowboy. Watched Dos Anjos get his hands on Till. Boy, Darren Till would do bad things to Dos Anjos, my brother. I'll just play. I don't know how that fight would go, but I just think Darren Till's just, actually, yeah, Darren Till will probably do bad things to RDA. He's probably just too big. He's a fucking light heavyweight, and he's fighting at welterweight. Fucking RDA's a lightweight. What, are you fucking crazy? I'm fucking, hey, Darren Till's my boy. Free Jon Jones, DC added steroids, said, what are the top 5 UFC ugly fighter girls? Joanna is ugly, Cyborg is super ugly, and Carla Esparza is ugly. If you had to choose, which one would you fuck while being drunk? Come on. Come on, dog. That's fucked up, bro. That's fucked up. You said top 5 ugly UFC fighter girls. I don't know. I don't have a list. Hey, but you said Joanna's ugly. My cousin, actually, he really likes Joanna. And you said Cyborg is ugly. Cyborg's got dolled up in a couple fucking interviews and shit, bro. She looked like a whole new chick. I think she was, man, hey, I'm telling you, man, I don't know. I don't really know, and I don't have a top 5 for sure. Carla Esparza, I can't even think of what she looks like off the top of my head, bro. So, top 5 ugliest, I'd feel more comfortable with the top 5 hottest or something, which I've did in the past. So, I can't think of them, but I'm sure a lot in the comments on this video, you're going to see a lot of people just clowning Cyborg like always. But, so, it is what it is, man. You're clearly the guy that they said asked 10 questions. You said full-time MMA. Do you think Conor will ever return to the UFC? Yes, and I believe before the end of the year, December 30th. That's what I'm hoping, Tony Ferguson. If not, I still think he's coming back. But he did just caught saying faggot backstage, and in the exact same fucking area, same cameras caught him saying I own this company. So he's starting to get a little comfortable. I don't know how that's gonna go. Dana White said he hasn't talked to Conor since after the Floyd fight. Conor got that check, man. I don't know what the money's gonna do to him and how all that's going, but Conor seems to be really, you know, living the definition of getting that fuck you money out. You know, he's been partying, fucking being a little wild out here. So we'll see how all that plays out. Ariel Helwani was calling for him to be punished by the UFC, and if Conor, oh my god, I just thought about something. Well, he's not going to get punished that hard. I was about to say, what if Conor McGregor gets punished to the point where it's like, oh, well, I'm just not fighting December 30th if y'all want to punish me. I'll fight Nate Diaz, then fuck this belt. I'm just saying, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen with all that, but hopefully it's not that big of a deal. He'll just have to do like a fucking commercial or something, you know, like Fabricio, some out in the LGBTQ community for saying the word or something. Who knows? Maybe you have to hang out with like Amanda Nunes and train with her for a day. Somebody was saying that they actually can do that, just like train with a fucking gay UFC fighter, and that counts. So I don't know how all that works, man. Hopefully Conor doesn't get in too much trouble, but he might add on to the trouble. You know how like whenever somebody gets in trouble, like bro, whenever I get pulled, whenever I've ever got pulled over with my cousin in the car, bro, when the police come up to the window, you ain't, as soon as they get to the window, this nigga wants to get an attitude. Oh, what do y'all want? It's like, bro, they just wanted to motherfucking check our license. I didn't fully stop at the stop sign or some shit. They're about to let us go as soon as they see my motherfucking license and insurance is good. They're about to let us go until yo ass wants to motherfucking, what? Nah, why you need my license? Nah, I ain't giving it. What, out of nowhere? Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, it is what it is. Next question. Holy shit, you ain't fucking around, dog. You said, can you give us an update on Jon Jones, the steroid user? Yeah, actually, I was texting Jon Jones yesterday, and he was telling me that he's coming back to the UFC. Him and Jeff Nowinski, the Golden. The fuck out of here, nigga. I couldn't give you an update on a Bellator fighter, bro. I couldn't give you an update on the motherfucking ECF and them motherfuckers local around here. What the fuck? I can give you a report as soon as somebody gives me a report, though. I'll make sure to get that to you. Free Jon Jones. DC added steroids, said, good reason to add weight classes, more title fights. Yeah, that is one. I mean, they're saying this because, like, the fighters' weight cuts and stuff. 1 second. But, I don't know. I mean, Dana White and other fighters have made the point that it wouldn't be healthier. You would have guys trying to cut more weight. You know, they make a 165-pound division. Some guys that were already barely pushing it to 170 are going to try and push it to 165. Like, I think I can do 5 more pounds. So that can even make it worse on some guys. So, more title fights is a good reason, though. Health, I mean, I understand ideally for health reasons, as Joe Rogan talks about a lot, like, he says fighters would fight closer to their weight, and Kevin Lee said that too. Like, man, I would love to fight at 165 instead of 155, because he just has a, you know, it's a little too hard to make 155, I guess. But who's to say if he lost a couple fights at 165, he wouldn't say, all right, I'm just going to make 155. You know, that's another thing about more weight classes, is it gives people excuses. Like, it's not, sometimes it's just the truth. Like with Cowboy, they were saying, I remember Dana White and Joe Rogan, they were proponents of Cowboy moving up to welterweight. They were saying stuff like, man, you see how Cowboy looks at 170? He's just so much healthier at that weight. You know, once he makes them weight cuts at 155, you know, he just looks so depleted. Same with Conor McGregor at 145. But now that he's lost 3 fights in a row at 170 pounds, Cowboy, there's rumors and reports going around that they're going to have Cowboy go back to lightweight. And it's like, well, you know, you guys kind of pushed him to welterweight, and now that he's lost 3 fights in a row, it's time for a new start. So imagine if he was at 175, and then, you know, oh, Cowboy can definitely do 165 and 175. So, I mean, but that's also a good thing. That's also a good thing, because you got fighters that are star, you know, potential, and they're stars in the UFC, like Cowboy, like a Darren Till, like a Paige Van Zandt, like a Sage Northcutt. And just because they're not the best fighter in the world necessarily, Darren Till might be, but all the rest of them, just because they're not the best fighter in the world and they're not going to fucking beat every top 5 contender, that still gives them a little more wiggle room, you know, to figure out the weight class they're fighting in. It'll give them a few more fights to really figure out where they're comfortable. Okay, I fought at 115, had some bad weight cuts, I took a couple losses, fuck that, I'm going up to 125. Get on a win streak, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there's pros and cons to it. It's really up to the fucking UFC. I mean, as far as all the commissions and everybody else has been concerned, it's seeming like that's the way it's headed, but waiting on the UFC, I don't even have a fucking time frame on how long that could be. Free Jon Jones, DC added steroids, said, do you think Hunt is trying to get that Brock Lesnar money, is just trying to get that Brock Lesnar money? I think so. Because before the fight, I mean, I still want to find that interview where Mark Hunt said, yeah, I know he's probably juiced up to the gills, but I'm going to knock his ass out anyway, or something like that. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people were under the impression Brock Lesnar was juicing, but with USADA here, it's kind of like, he's got to be clean. But then when they waived that USADA, like, testing period, it was like, okay. And then Brock Lesnar, of course, looked the part. So, I mean, I think he's really only doing the lawsuit because he has legs. Like, I don't know if the good lawyers were like, hey, check this out. We're going to pay for this unless you win. If you don't win, you don't have to pay anything. Let us handle this, but you have a case. They knew he was cheating. Somebody could have came at him with that, or he might have been pissed off that he lost the fight. I really don't know, but I do think money definitely has a big part to do with it. Because it's not just Brock Lesnar money. This is fucking UFC, Dana White, Brock Lesnar, like everybody combined money. Like, he named like some big people. So here you go, babe. He named some people. So if he were to, I think he's going for bigger than just Brock Lesnar money. Free John Jones DC added steroids said, would you get blowjobs from Joanna Champion for the rest of your life? What the fuck? Or fuck Cynthia for a month? Hey. Free John Jones DC added steroids. Just gonna move right past that. Who can beat Tyron Woodley realistically? In the welterweight division, it's good to see the deck starting to shuffle. For a while there, it was starting to look like nobody when the top 5 was like Wonder Boy, Condit, Damian Maia. It was looking like nobody up there, but now we got Colby Covington, Kamaru Usman, Darren Till coming up, Jorge Masvidal, Robbie Lawler's coming back, even though he's another guy he can beat Tyron Woodley at this point. And the way every time they ask Robbie Lawler about Tyron Woodley, the way that he fucking kind of avoids it, I'm like, damn, I don't think he even wants to fight Tyron again, honestly. I mean, I don't know. So, but if it's going to be somebody, it's going to be one of these young killers, and it's going to be, I don't even know if it's going to be Tyron's next fight, but one of these young dudes, once they get that shot after 2 or 3 more fights, I think it's out of Darren Till, Usman, maybe Colby Covington. That's a big maybe. That's a really big maybe. Yeah, but man, Darren Till, couple fights. I would love to see that fight. Kamaru Usman, he needs to start getting some fucking opportunities. I want to see him fight top contenders and see how he would do against them, because he's been dominating everybody else. So I mean, it's that fucking time. He's ranked 12. Let's get it going. He's about to be fighting Emil Mech, but that's not really gonna help his case to move into the top 10. So yeah, those guys. I don't know about anybody that's, because Dana White said, what, the winner of RDA and Robbie Lawler get the next title fight, most likely. So I don't know. I'd like to see what RDA does in there, but I'm always a little skeptical about guys coming up a division. I just feel like they're a little smaller, especially when it's a bigger guy that's got the champion Tyron Woodley. It's not like he's ever even thought about fighting at lightweight, most likely. So he's gonna be a lot bigger if he fights RDA. But who knows? Skill. Who knows? So, Free John Jones with his 20th question said, who would win Mighty Mouse versus Rey Mysterio? Ooh. Damn, bro. I think Mighty Mouse is going to hit him with the Mighty Wiz Bar. Before the Mighty Wiz Bar, I would have said Rey Mysterio. But now that Demetrius Johnson has his own WWE ass move, the Mighty Wiz Bar, I think he's laying it on Rey Mysterio and getting the submission. So, A Goof said, I don't understand how that cuck has 100 people paying $20 a month for his shitty ass content. They must feel special being a hitter or something. Yeah, them are just some people that are probably, loyal to the soil. They've been around for a long time, and they believed the fact that he was shutting it down, and so they want to feel like they're in or something. I don't know, man. It's really goofy, and it's funny your name is A Goof. That shit over there is really fucking goofy, but it's all good. It's all good. Can't knock the man. So, but all that does is give me motherfucking motivation. Shit, that gives me motivation to keep going, because if that motherfucking dude is worth that in 3 years, dog, that just makes me want to do this shit for 10 years, whether I got to do it for free or not, because that just means I just feel like personally my shit is killing his shit. So with that being said, till that fuckboy responds to my emails or any of that shit, By the way, one of his fucking little friends said, I'm his representative. I want to speak for him. Motherfucker, and then you shut the hell up because I've been trying to get you to respond. Like, okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Email me, Skype me, do something. And you got real fucking quiet. I emailed your fucking daddy over there. He ain't responding. So with that being said, man, it's he who must not be named. I'm not mentioning that fucking name. There will be no free promotion till one of you pussies put a man on deck. So he who must not be named got 100 cucks over there. Fuck them. Fuck them all. Fuck the other side. Except for the ones that are rocking with me too, you know what I'm saying? They know this shit. This is that real shit. What Nate Diaz say? You motherfucker want that real shit? That free shit? Be fucking over here on full time. Fuck you, Tab Matt. Alonzo said, fuck that guy Duho Choi in YouTube. I don't know who you're speaking about. Should I fucking like Google that shit? I wonder if he's somebody in the comments. He might be one of the dudes from the comments or something, because I don't think I'm gonna find anything if I look Duho Troy except for like highlights and shit in YouTube. I thought you were talking about like a channel, but I think I might be talking about a guy in the comments. I think I seen a pretty douchey Duho Troy in the comments. One of them dudes with like the fake name and shit. MMA vlogger Real Talk Forum said, Rhonda has the personality, looks, and stardom. Nunes is an ugly lesbian that thinks she's tough after beating an out-of-shape Misha and beating Rhonda. Fuck Nunes. I disagree, brother. You forgot to mention she also beat Valentina Shevchenko in a 5-round fight. And you can say she beat an out-of-shape Misha and beaten Rhonda, but Misha wasn't too out of shape to be the motherfucking champion at that point. Misha Tate just beat Holly Holm, even though that fight was really going Holly Holm's way. But you better motherfucker put some respect on Misha Cupcakes Tate's name. She will not be disrespected like that on this channel, bro. Or you man, I don't think the MMA community is rocking with that. But and yeah, you can't just leave out the Valentina Shevchenko fights, who she beat twice, not just once. Nunes gets a lot of hate, and kind of like Cyborg, a lot of you guys call her fucking ugly lesbians all the time. I don't know, man. I don't think she's trying to be cute. I don't think Amanda Nunes is fucking, what's it called? I don't even know. I was just thinking about that as I said it. Like, what's it? Perming her hair and shit, and, you know, straightening her hair, flattening her hair. I don't see Amanda Nunes doing that and putting makeup on and all that shit. And I was like, ooh, I don't know about that. But I don't know, man. I don't. Dana White did say it takes what? The looks, the charisma, and whatever. So, I mean, as long as people like you have that opinion, I guess you probably won't be a superstar. But the same way you says Rhonda has the personality and the looks, I also see people in the comments say that Rhonda doesn't have the looks. So, I mean, to each their own. Everyone can have their own opinion, and I respect yours. But somebody replied to your comment and said, I so agree with you, man. Fuck that. God damn, y'all are fucking killers out here. Holy crap. I thought I was about to read a reply, you know. He said, I wish Misha would still be the champion. She's so hot. So you guys just want the hottest chick to be the champion or some shit? I don't think that's how it works. 20 times Man United said, who would win, Connor or Tony? Congrats on 2K. Day one hitter. Been on every channel you've made. Yes, sir. Our fucking, your namesake stands out. I can, you know, a lot of these names stands out. Speaking of, bada bing, bada boom, where the fuck he been at? Ain't seen him in the room in so long. Even from the Heartland said that as well, man. You heard from bada bing, bada boom? No, honestly, I think it's been a couple weeks. There was somebody in the comments with a new name that was clipping shit up just like Bada Bing in the same eloquent fashion, but his name was different. So I don't know if he changed his name or what, but this is calling out Bada Bing and all the rest of the day one hitters, man. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? I know some niggas done changed names, so it's hard to keep. If you done changed your name, don't expect me to remember that shit. But everybody else, I know the fucking, I know who we're rocking with. I still got the list. So you said who would win out of Connor or Tony? God, that's such a good fight, man. I really hope it happens and no shenanigans happens. Oh man, my fucking head is saying Tony. My heart is undecided. It's really hard. It's really hard, man. I feel like if Tony can get out of the first round, he wins the fight. But that's a really big if. Now, I think that's my prediction, though. If Tony can get out of the first round, he wins the fight. Maybe even the second. Because we know Conor can start to fade toward the end. but we know Tony's a slow starter, so it's almost like a fucking perfect matchup. You really don't know what's gonna happen. It can go either way. Conor can touch him and put him down early. Tony can fucking... I think Tony's got more ways to win the fight, so I would probably lean toward Tony. We'll go like that. MMA Vlogger said, is DC the champion, or are we still waiting for USADA's final decision? He is the champion, and that's what's so weird to me. All this goddamn John Jones talk. I'm pretty sure a lot of this is just headline talk, because it's starting to look like he's not going to get really a super, like, no penalty suspension, even though I just seen a fucking another article today that said John Jones has passed every test since failing his test. So if he does come back, what do you guys do? Say, oh, sorry, DC, we fucked up. Give us that belt back. Yeah, I mean, I just don't know how that works. That would be, bro, that would be fucked up. I wonder who has to make that call. Dana, hey DC, what's up? What's up, champ? Well, actually, what's up, DC? I don't know. MMA from the Heartland said, anyone seen Troll Buster lately, or have I just been missing him? Well, he ain't been on this channel, motherfucker. He's probably been over there. You know what I'm saying? He was over there for a while, but he knew he was out of place. He was over there hashtag Team Super Cash and shit. I don't fuck on, dude. And he still needs to email me that apology. Fuck you, tell him at that public apology, and we'll welcome him back to the full-time family. But right now, it's like he went off and, you know, he's on drugs and he fucking traded races. I'm just fucking around. But, you know, he's that family member that's off right now, strung out. So all we can do right now is pray for him. He's going to send in that public apology. He's going to send me the video. I'm going to post it on the channel. We're going to all be good, but as of right now, man, he's still over there biting bagels like a baby back bitch boy. Fuck you, Tim Matt. MMA from the Heartland said, haha, we all know where he's at. He's at his master's trailer sucking his little dirty cash cock. I think you're right. His little dick cash cock. That's fucking hilarious. Oh, MMA from the Heartland said, but for real, has anyone seen Bada Boom? Or have I just been missing him? No, that's yeah. I thought about that like a week ago. Like, man, where's he been? So, if he's on a new name, let us know. He might just be on his motherfucking samurai ninja shit and just clipping up shit with his motherfucking ESP and shit. You know, Bada Bing's a motherfucking soldier out here. Who knows, man? So with that being said, looking for you, Bada Bing. Next comment. MMA from the Heartland. Do you think Kevin Lee will be dominant at 170 or similar to lightweight? I do not think he will be dominant at 170. I think lightweight is his division. I just think he needs to use the Performance Institute or a very, very dedicated nutritionist. Somebody that's gonna like learn his shit, not somebody that can just give him tips and him do it his own way because he felt like he did it before. But at 170, I think if he goes to 170, he'll have to like completely train his strength and conditioning. Now, I think he could be successful at 170 if he wanted to completely like add that muscle, but not if he was trying to go back and forth between 155 and 170. I think if he wants to move to 170, he's gonna have to fucking make it permanent and bulk up, and then he could be. I think he has the skills. I just think he's a little too small for the division right now, because that's not just a 10-pound jump like featherweight to lightweight or bantamweight to featherweight or any of that shit. That's an actual 15-pound jump. So with his wrestling, you know, his wrestling pedigree, then I just think 155 is his division. And I think if he comes in with no staph infection and a nutritionist, he'll probably be dominant in his next fight. That's what I'm hoping we see. And you said that is if he does move up, but do you think he could be in title contention pretty quick, or would he have to fight 5 or 6 times before he gets a shot? Man, just now that you say it like that, I'm thinking not 5 or 6 times, but he'd probably have to beat 2 or 3 welterweights. And the way that division is shuffling, man, oh man, I really just thinking about all them welterweights. To me, the welterweight division is probably one of the most stacked in the UFC, and I just see Kevin Lee kind of getting fucked up there. Just off the top of my head, I could be wrong, but even somebody like Colby Covington or somebody like, I mean, they just seem too big. Fucking Kamaru Usman versus Kevin Lee. I mean, Darren Till, any of those young guys, I feel like are probably just too big even. And then the experienced guys, like, I mean, Kevin Lee versus Donald Cerrone, that might work, but when you talk about even like Robbie Lawler, or I mean, I would like to see Kevin Lee versus RDA. I mean, if you put him against another guy that used to fight at lightweight, I'll watch that at 170. But other than that, I just feel like the other guys have a little bit of an advantage over him, just because he's kind of a wrestler going up. Now, somebody like Jorge Masvidal, who doesn't just rely on takedowns, you know, uses striking to set up his takedowns, even though he can. He's got the hands to kind of keep up with those welterweights. But yeah, so MMA from the Heartland said, do you think, oh, that's the same question. Jay Tizzle said, full-time MMA, hell yeah, bro, keep it up. Ain't stopping shit. Ain't no such thing as stopping. What the fuck you time at? Dude. Bam Bam said, what do you think about Sage Northcutt? Do you think he still has a chance, or do you think he'll fade away because his heart pumps lemonade, lol? Congrats on your 2K subs. Much appreciated. And I don't think Sage Northcutt's heart pumps lemonade. I think that shit's pumping motherfucking nothing but pure iron blood. I don't know. Sage Northcutt's my fucking dude. Fuck you, time. My hell no, he ain't fading away. I think he's just got to take his career slow, because do I think he's one of the best welterweights in the world? Fuck no. I think he might be better off at lightweight. Well, I don't know. He's been bulking up. He might do better at welterweight, but he's one of those guys that was fighting at lightweight and welterweight. That's a big jump. So if you're going to be fighting at 170, I think you got to really bulk up. And if not, you got to fight at 155. And then I would like to see how he did down there. But I don't know, man, when I see Sage Northcutt, he's so fucking jacked, bro. Like, I don't know. I don't even think Sage Northcutt necessarily has to fight a lot to not fade away. Sage Northcutt can fight once a year with an injury, or twice a year, and still be making headlines. So I think that's kind of the route you probably want to take with Sage Northcutt. You don't want him to lose like 4 fights in a row, because what's he on, like a 2-fight losing streak now, or maybe he picked up a win. But you don't want him to lose 4 fights in a row. But even if he's lost 2 fights and then picks up a win and then loses 2 fights, you know, oh, you got to go up a weight or something. I don't know. I just feel like he's kind of like Paige Van Zandt, you know what I'm saying? They might not be the champion in the near future or ever in the future, but they still are gonna be fan favorites, and you can put them on like Dancing with the Stars, or you know, shit like that. They've got the fucking marketability. Win or lose, they're marketable. So I don't think Sage Northcutt's really ever gonna fade away. I actually think he's gonna be around for a long time, and I think once his skills start developing more and more and more before he fucks up his record or something, that's kind of why I like that we haven't seen him just getting thrown to the wolves. All right, now another fight in 3 months. I kind of like that he's taking time, because he's, you know, you don't want to see him get wiped out or fade away, as you say, before he's at his full potential. You'd rather see him fucking cut. But at the same, that's why the UFC kind of has to have him under contract, because Bellator would do it the same. If the UFC didn't have him, anybody else would pick him up. It doesn't matter if he was on a 5-fight losing streak. Bellator, any of these guys will take him. And actually, his sister's starting to fight as well. The whole Northcutt family, I think, is going to be fighters, man. I think the Northcutts are going to fuck around and be MMA royalty maybe 10 years, 12 years when all is said and done. I mean, I just think, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's probably the reason it's marketable. You're just kind of drawn to him. I'm kind of just drawn to him. I don't know what it is, man. I really like Sage Northcutt. You know, the innocent little naive shit that in all the videos. I mean, I'm sure that's gonna change. But speaking of, you guys remember that Twitter incident? I just thought about that. He said his Twitter got hacked. He liked a porn star's tweet or something. He said he got hacked. He might lose the innocence, but even with it, man, I like it. It's like, what the fuck? Is this real? I don't know, man. He reminds me of you know what he reminds me of? Motherfucking Super Saiyan, bro. Motherfucking Goku, dog, or somebody. The nigga got the spiky hair and everything, man. And, you know, Goku was all naive and shit. Bro, is this nigga a real life Super Saiyan or what? I don't know, man. I don't think he's gonna fade away. I like Sage Northcutt. I'm definitely gonna watch his fights anytime they're on. That's for sure. Shit, I even was gonna check out his sister's fight when she fought in LFA. She ended up losing, and I ended up missing the fight. But shit, I just like the whole Northcutt family, man. I don't know what it is. They got a fucking appeal to him. So with that being said, no, he's not fading away. Slacker said Darren Till versus Mike Perry. Who wins and how? Split or unanimous decision? Knockout or submission? Man, I could really piss a lot of my boys off. I don't want to do it, but I really don't want to do it. because you know Pablo Platinum Escobar, that's my dude, and I know I'm a Mike Perry fan, so if I were to just tell you that I think Darren Till might fucking murder Mike Perry, it might make you go, what? Call me a prisoner of the moment, but Darren Till, like, I fucking love Mike Perry. I fuck with Mike Perry, and I think he can knock a lot of dudes out, but I just believe he's a headhunter who can be outpointed or outsmarted in a fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody plays the Alan Joban game, and they don't play Mike Perry's game, they don't and choose to engage, and yeah, let's slugfest it out, then Mike Perry's just got the potential to lose. And Darren Till is a guy that I think would even slugfest with Mike Perry because he's that fucking confident and probably win them goddamn exchanges, boy. Like, I've always been a huge fan of Mike Perry, but I've always had that low undertone feeling of, yeah, but he can probably lose to a guy. Like, you've seen whenever he was scheduled to fight Thiago Alves, I had it a heartbreak pick, but I had Thiago Alves kind of winning because he was more experienced, so he didn't have to play Mike Perry's game. Darren Till, even though he's probably not, he might be even more experienced, I don't think he's going to play Mike Perry's game unless he wants to, and then when he chooses to play it, he's got the possibility of winning. So if the fight were tomorrow, I would go Darren Till, and you can say it's because I'm a prisoner of the moment, but I'm really high on Darren Till. So next question, Slacker, who has the best chance of defeating Mighty Mouse between TJ Dominic Cruz or Cody No Love? The best chance of beating Mighty Mouse? Well, I think we have to say Dominic Cruz, but I think he's got the best chance of beating Mighty Mouse when we've already seen it, but I don't think he has the best chance of actually getting the fight. I think he's got the least chance of getting the fight, but who's got the best chance of defeating Mighty Mouse is definitely Dominic Cruz. Now, since TJ and Dillashaw, the winner is probably who's going to fight Mighty Mouse. I would say, who's bigger out of TJ and Cody? That's a good question. Probably TJ. I mean, not even just who's, it's probably just slight. So, Mighty Mouse. I would probably say, that's really close, man. I really got to see how TJ and Cody match up. I haven't seen enough out of Cody. I would have to just say TJ. I haven't seen enough out of Cody. All I've seen him is in the Dominic Cruz fight, and that could have been an injured Dominic Cruz for all we know. He talked about his plantar fasciitis. We don't know really how much it was, you know, flared up or whatever the hell. So the way that Dominic Cruz looked in that fight, and we haven't seen him fight again. I mean, Cody did win that, and it was very impressive. But other than that Dominic Cruz fight, we've seen a couple knockouts from Cody, but we've seen a lot more body of work from TJ Dillashaw. You know what I'm saying? So I would lean with TJ. But I'm also leaning with TJ to win that fight. But if Cody comes out here and smashes TJ, then I would pick Cody because, you know, it's the real deal. As of right now, I'm still a little torn. Slacker said, which heavyweight has the best chance to beat DC? Shit, man. DC's been walking around a little lighter, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know if he's really looking to get back into heavyweight anytime soon. I mean, but Stipe off the top of my head, Stipe, probably Stipe. I was thinking Alistair, but no, DC could probably get a couple takedowns on Alistair low-key. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just say Stipe Miocic, dog, because Stipe's the biggest, baddest heavyweight on the planet right now. Other than fucking Alistair. I'm really high on Alistair, but Alistair's going to be fighting Francis coming up, so we'll see what happens there. But even out of Francis, Alistair, and Stipe, I'm going with Stipe. So, hey, full-time, congratulations on 2K, says SwissKid316. SwissKid316, where's that 316 from, bro? Tell me that ain't from Wichita. Fuck you, Tab Matt. He said, hey, full-time, congratulations on 2K. Hopefully 100K comes soon. So my question is, which young fighters in which divisions do you think are the future of the UFC? Let's start with the obvious, Darren Till. Fuck you, Matt. Darren Till. I'm going to go down. Henry Cejudo. I'm going to start at the lower weight classes. Henry Cejudo, I think he's got nothing but upside, even more so than a Sergio Pettis. I think Henry Cejudo's got more potential with his wrestling base and shit, even though Sergio Pettis is bright. So flyweight, I'll say Sergio Pettis, Henry Cejudo. They're young, they're talented. Brandon Moreno, but not as much as like championship. So and that's just too deep. So Cejudo, let's go up to bantamweight. Jimmy Rivera, TJ Dillashaw, Cody Garbrandt. Are these only supposed to be guys that people don't know, or what? You said which fighters is the future? Bantamweight. There's a guy that I'm fucking leaving off. Holy shit, and it's gonna piss me off. No. Oh no, I'm thinking of Brian. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Bantamweight, aside the guys that are already at the top, Jimmy Rivera and the champion and shit's pretty young. So featherweight, we got. You know what? For this, I'm definitely gonna have to pull up the fucking UFC.com rankings while I'm going off my head. It sucks though, because there's probably some people like Darren Till who weren't on this list until recently. I wouldn't have really thought Darren Till until he got scheduled to fight Cowboy, but Darren Till is definitely Kamaru Usman, of course, off the top of my head. Colby Covington, he's as much as people might not like him, he's a fucking stud. So we're at featherweight and lightweight. Think about some of those, some of the younger guys, the futures. Robert Whittaker, I mean, I don't know how old he is, or if you can, but I think he's going to be champion probably for a little while once he gets a fight. I think Robert Whittaker's really good. Derek Brunson, I don't know how young he is, but he's one of the futures of the middleweight division in my opinion. I think he's really good, a little underrated because he's coming off of 2 losses. Alright, rankings. UFC. Alright, dude. Let's see, so we're at featherweight and lightweight. Flyweight, did I miss anybody? Ray Borg, Sergio Pettis. Hey, I don't think I missed anybody at flyweight. John Lineker, John Dodson. I like John Dodson. I don't know how young Thomas Almeida is. Rob Font, I'm pretty high on Rob Font right now. He's fighting this coming up week at bantamweight. Featherweight, let's go down. Max Holloway's the champion. I mean, you can consider him the future. He's pretty young, right? Sorry, fucking allergies. Let's see, Ricardo Lamas, I wouldn't say future. He's probably, I don't know how young he is. Brian Ortega, he's pretty young. I was thinking Brian Ortega. That's what I was thinking about a second ago. I don't know. Yeah, Brian Ortega, we'll leave him up there. Yair Rodriguez, I know they want him to be Rashad Beck, Jason Knight, man. He lost. Jason Knight lost that fight to fucking Ricardo Lamas, which was unfortunate, but I really still can't wait to see him get back in there. Lightweight, Kevin Lee for sure. Ally Quintus getting back in the cage soon. I forget who he got booked against. Welterweight, Darren Till for sure. Jorge Masvidal, he's getting up there in age, like 33, 35 maybe, so I wouldn't say future, like long future, 10, 12 years. Colby Covington, Darren Till, Santiago Ponzinibbio, Kamaru Usman. Middleweight, we got Derek Brunson, Kelvin Gastelum. We got at light heavyweight, I don't know how young Vulcan is. Light heavyweight is super thin though. I mean, like what? Corey Anderson, OSP, Misha Serkadov. I mean, heavyweight, that's another one that's kind of thin. Future, I mean, I guess what? Volkov, Marcin Tybura. I mean, the rest of these are, of course, fucking Francis Ngannou. Junior Albini, I'm looking forward to his fight coming up, that's for sure. Women's, we got Jessica Andrade, I'm not sure on her age to call her future. Carolina, Claudia Rose, all these girls, Cynthia Calvia. Alright, I think I've said enough on that one. Let's get back to the questions. Pretty much everybody I named just kind of, you know, fits into there. So, Aware said, did you see Mike Perry and Kelvin Gastelum go at it on Instagram? Who do you think would win that fight? Oh yeah, I think Kelvin Gastelum said like Santiago would sleep Till and Perry. Who do I think would win out of Gastelum and Mike Perry? That'd be a good fight. I would really like that fight. I would like that fight. Kelvin Gastelum's really starting to win me over. I feel like he's getting thrown to the wolves at 185. I feel like he's probably a 170 pounder that needs the Performance Institute. And he's even said so. That Weidman fight really made me want to see him back at 170. He's really good, man. He's really underrated, I think. But I just don't think 185 is the spot. I could be wrong, though. Or 175 would be dope for fucking Kelvin Gastelum. But I think out of Mike Perry and Kelvin Gastelum, that would be literally like a coin flip for me. Kelvin Gastelum might be a little bit more well-rounded, but Mike Perry might be able to land that motherfucking Vietnam, if you know what I'm saying. So I would love to see that fight. I'm not gonna fucking disrespect my boy, keep disrespecting my boy Mike Perry all night and say he's just gonna lose that fight. Kelvin would be a little, I don't know, I for some reason I see that a coin flip, literally a fucking coin flip. Mercedes Stover Yvonne said, will you let any of your day one subs feature on one of your rap battle videos? Bro, I haven't even did a rap battle in a while. It's like I've got so much stuff to do now. For one, I'm trying to work a lot more to, you know, put money into getting equipment and shit to just keep improving the channel. For two, I'm trying to get all these clips. I gotta make all these GIFs for so many fighters. I got so much work to do there. For three, I gotta keep up with all the news. For four, there's a lot of fight cards coming up, Bellator and UFC. Gotta do all those predictions, fake money. I got so much shit going on, man. I haven't even really been able to do jokes or rap battles lately. But I mean, all that shit can come back in the future. And as far as doing it with the hitters, I don't give a fuck, dog. I do whatever with the hitters, man. I mean, but I ain't just gonna let 100 people, hey, yo, let's fucking do some rapping. I'm not that. I was doing that shit for kind of fun, but that's kind of why that was one of the first things to go. It's not really a high priority. I mean, I'm good at it and shit, but yeah, and especially if you wanted to like throw like a little dono or something, I'll never ask for a donation, but that would let me know you really wanted to do it. If you were like, hey man, here's like $5, I wanted to like do a rap battle video with you, I think it'd be fun. Like, fuck yeah, dog, nigga, fuck you, tell me, Matt. So I don't even know when I plan on doing a rap battle video other than that though. Almost 2K said, Mary Jane, much appreciated, thank you very much. WMA Talk. Sam Crow said, where you live? Florida? Florida. No, I live in Kansas, brother. Sam Crow said, this guy commented like 10 times, fuck out of here, John Jones, bitch. That nigga's crazy, he's on go mode. Oh, that was the last comment. I'm gonna hit refresh to see if there's anything else newest. Switch this motherfucker to newest and see what we time at. If there's no new comments, then we shall be on our way. Gonzalez Royal Python said, congrats, man. Hashtag day one. Motherfucking thank you, dog. Hashtag day one. Hashtag fuck the other side. Hashtag fuck Oscar. Hashtag fuck you, Tamat. It is what it is, man. That's the Q&A. That's all the answers. I know we ain't quite at 2K, but it don't matter, man. We're fucking rounded up, like I said earlier. It is what it is. I already said that too. So let the full-time family know what the fuck you tell me in the comments.
Bye, Felicia.